Unfortunately, like everybody else, I have not been able to cope with it so well. I am a frontline worker. I work in an oncology unit, and I basically have been wrapping bodies from the first day that people got exposed to this virus. Every day I have anxiety going to work. Um, I sit in my car for hours praying. It actually brought me closer to God. Um, from the patients to the techs to the lab techs to nurse managers to doctors to nurse practitioners, um, the hurt that happens every day. It's sad, and it's so sad. Um, I've witnessed firsthand on how this virus comes onto people, both young and old.
Mm-hmm.
And it's scary. No, my good enough. Shortages, work overload, doing, down to the families being video called on these machines that we have, these iPads, and watching the hurt, watching the patient struggle, trying to provide all respiratory therapy to this patient so that they can actually breathe. It's sad. And this is my job, you know. But to today, I still cope. I'm still trying to cope. Um, I've learned that it's not about me. It's about being a vessel to someone else, being a help to someone else. You know, it's about love. We all need each other. And, you know, if you never did believe in religion or if you never was religious, just the words that you speak is not seen. The feelings that you feel isn't seen. And so is love, you know, and that's what brings me through this. I say people need love. People need someone else. People need you there. But I push myself. I'm pushing myself every day to go in. But it's hard. It's very, very hard. I'm sorry. I'm getting so emotional right now.
Okay.
It's hard. But I try to think, like, I initially started with cancer patients, and then it turned into uh, opioid users. So, and then it turned into this COVID. And then it turned into body bags. And then it turned into that's it. Just going to work, people reaching for their last breath, and you open that door to assess your patient and they're gone, you know? And I'm grateful to have met you guys. You know, I'm listening to everyone's story, and it's humbling. Um, I feel like this is a great avenue. You know, it's not just about self, it's about hearing other people's issues or challenges. So I'm grateful to have met all of you guys, and thank you to Shauna for introducing me to this group. And hopefully we all can bring each other through it and make it through.
For sure.
Oh, we
For
will.
sure.
Just remember, when it comes to being a caretaker by any means, when you are pouring into other people, I know it's difficult with scheduling, but try to remember to pour into you as well. You cannot give from an empty cup. And experiencing all that all day long for you, I'm sure is spiritually, emotionally, and physically exhausting. So just remember to pour into you as well. Okay?
For sure.
And also, the healthcare has one of the biggest unions in the country, still to this day. So I would go to those union officials and have them talk to the local government because I don't understand how, if a person affects another person with AIDS, with knowing with the AIDS virus, they can be arrested. Yet you can walk around without a mask on and be carrying a virus around and just super spread it like crazy. Isn't that an attack on somebody's life?
And you're right. You're right about that. And I've seen people, co-workers, come into joint areas like break rooms, and they're asymptomatic, meaning they have COVID,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't show symptoms. And you take your mask off because you're eating. And then this whole number, this whole figure they gave about 6 feet apart, when you cough or when you sneeze, it travels up to 30 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
These molecules actually stay in the vicinity, the area that you're in. The person could be long gone and you're walking in and you take that off to eat.
With all this pandemic that's going on, there is a lot you're not being told, or I'm not being told. And it wasn't until I accidentally, by the way, COVID is not something that just happened in March. It just came out of nowhere.
That's
It's
a
not.
fact.
Dogs and cats have COVID. We live with dogs and cats. If there's one of the magical things that the creator gives us is that we have this ability, because the human child is the only creature that when born has no functioning immune system. Isn't
Mm.
that crazy? And
Extremely.
here's the genius of it now. As the child grows, the immune system grows with the child. That's why children go through that oral stage where the immune system is saying, what's outside? What's outside? And then the immune system learns, balances itself. Because if without the immune system, ordinary germs, billions of them that we just rub our nose, touch the subway railing, we would have been out a long time ago. Nobody since this pandemic start ever talk about boosting your immune system. Nobody ever
Mm-hmm.
talk about that. They talk about vaccine as if it's the cure all and the end all. And the question I'm shouting and nobody's answering. So what about the people who fortunately have never contracted the COVID like me? Should I still take the vaccine? Like they said, oh, you should take the flu vaccine. And everybody that I know that takes the flu vaccine comes down with the flu. I don't know about you, but that's not adding up to me. That doesn't make any damn sense. And I get tackled by doctors all the time over this. But thank God I can stand my ground and I can argue. Now, here's the meat of the matter. The name of the guy slipped me. The guy who created the PCP test that they're using now for COVID, he won a Nobel Prize for it. I dug him up. Surprise, surprise. What he said the test does is not what we're doing. Very simple. He said when you take the test can tell you if there's an antibody activity going on inside your body. It can't tell you from what. So you could be having a reaction from a fragment of something floating around in your body. Ding, 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 ding. It's positive, but it's not COVID. It's just an antibody reaction. And that's what I mean when I said there's a lot of information we don't know and they're not telling us. So the bottom line is, all we're hearing about these numbers going up, I promise you, a lot of it is false positive. period. I could go on. I could talk about why the CDC own patents on COVID. Can anybody answer that?
Mm-hmm.
Because we're a signatory that says if something naturally occurs in nature, like a virus or a bacteria, you cannot patent it. America is a signatory to that.
Mm-hmm.
So if the CDC owns patent on COVID, you can look it up, it's in the public domain. If the CDC owns patents on COVID, own patents on the testing for COVID, well, we have one or two things happening here. Either we have an illegal patent or the COVID was created and then they have the right to patent it. And the question, of course, is which is it? So these are not the questions most people are going to ask in polite conversation. But I'm one of those inquisitive people who, because I'll tell you this, Dr. Anthony Fauci is compromised. He is highly compromised. He owns massive share in vaccine companies. I'm not asking you that. It's public record. It's there. Okay? And all the people who know and have the right answers are being censored. And we're only hearing from one set of people. And they're all singing the same song. Vaccine, vaccine, vaccine. And meanwhile, we don't know that other countries abroad are using simple therapeutic method and keeping COVID under control, back where it belongs. Not in America, because there's a blackout or whiteout, whatever you want to call it, on the news media. And most Americans simply can't think, they just react. So if one person said, oh, the vaccine is ready, then everybody sing it like a chorus. And we never get around to asking the right question. How did the COVID started? Was it really a bat that fell into a pig's pen and somebody ate it? There's some fairy tale, Cinderella and live happily ever after. And we bought it. And we're intelligent people with freaking information in our hand like gods, and we can't find out anything. So when the authorities come along and says, well, we need to be 6 feet apart. I think Siobhan just said it a while ago. That is madness. When you talk, you left particles in the atmosphere that stays suspended. What the hell is 6 feet going to do? People, use our head. It doesn't make any sense.
Mr.
Real virologists will tell you the mutation process in viruses don't work the way they said it's work. No freaking bat can be eaten by a pig and the mutation take place. Ask any hardcore virus, they tell you it doesn't work like that. It's nonsense.
Well,
So what's
Mr.
going on?
Dawkins, Mr. Dawkins, I believe the fear factor that everybody, a lot of people, and it's not, I completely agree with a lot of those aspects that you came with. I agree with that completely. I think the fear factor where a lot of people don't pay attention to is the death and how many people are dying. And I think a lot of it is because we're actually sitting still now. I mean, I think the amount of people who die like this every day, but I think the fact that we're sitting still now and we're actually paying attention to it, I think that's where the fear factor that comes in, especially for the people that work on the front line. And they're seeing this because it's like, what is this? That's the fear factor.
Let me ask you this. Can fear kill,
Yes, sir.
can fear kill a human being?
No.
Fear. Can it kill a person?
If you allow it to in your mental, yes.
Okay. The answer is yes. Now, if a forest is dry and somebody drops a lighted match or cigar, what do you think the chances are that the forest will start to be on fire? Would you say in the 90 percentile?
Yes, sir.
Exactly. In America, we are overfed and undernourished.
That's a fact. I agree with that.
Period.
I agree with that.
Which means, as a side note, that most people in America have compromised immune system. Compromised immune system.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a compromised immune system, it doesn't take much to take you down. And what I find, we're in a free-for-all now where anybody comes into a hospital, no matter what the pre-existing condition is, it's COVID.
Oh no, facts. I
It
understand that.
is. I have seen the letter from a few doctors who were brave enough to show me that they got orders in the early stages from the CDC that says, and I read it, because if they had just told me, I would never believe it. From the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, that says to these doctors, when a patient comes into your care, if you can say that this person is infected by COVID, there is a $16,000 incentive. I read it. If you put this person on ventilator, there is a $39,000 incentive. I'm asking you, intelligent people here, and this is numerous doctors who are brave enough. Some will do it publicly, some will do it quietly, and says, I'm confused. Why are they asking me to put people on ventilator when they come in, that's not what they need. But the financial incentive is there. The bottom line is this: doctors are being incentivized to diagnose somebody with COVID. From that fact alone, that put a fly into the ointment, and questions need to be answered. And I'm saying, Siobhan, like you and all the people who are frontline workers, do what you have to do to protect yourself. I'm simply saying, when you get a chance, do your own research, ask questions, because you're going to come upon a couple of questions that makes people in authority uncomfortable. You know you've hit on something. The bottom line is the COVID is not that much different from the yearly flu strain. I was shocked when I realized from the CDC website, we lost on average every year about 115 to 120,000 people due to the common cold. I didn't know that. Nobody make a fuss out of it. Just
because nobody was saying still.
Yeah, they have compromised immune system, so they get attacked with whatever virus is available, and they lost the battle. Nobody make a big deal out of it. And here comes
the times that we're in, everything is amplified right now.
Right.
So I think that's amplified. Why nobody. Yes.
And then when you mix the fear into it, we have a forest that is on fire right now. Everybody's yelling fire, and humans and animals are all running out the forest. That's where we are right now.
But I mean, isn't that the issue? That's kind of the issue too, that I feel, you're talking about information being at the fingertips of people, but having information and knowing what is true is two different things. Deciphering what is truthful, especially when you're in a field where you're not an expertise, where you don't study medicine in any way, shape, or form, that even having information and trying to figure out what is fake news or real is also a struggle for the individuals to decide for themselves. So at some point, you're saying that people are reacting out of fear. That's partially true, but there are people that just don't know what is true. And the people that they trust to give them the information are somewhat untrustworthy now. So how do you know for yourself what to do?
Welcome to the present age.
And I said like this right, I don't think it's fear that's leading people. I think it's numbness. Because you think about it.
Fear brings paralysis.
Yeah, numbness happened because, like Dave Chappelle said, people forgot what it was like before we was on lockdown. It was a mass shooting every other week, just about.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
We got numb to it. We got numb to all the killing. Right now, it's just like when the AIDS epidemic went out. All of a sudden, people got numb to it. They said, okay, we're numb to it right now. So we can, you give me this pill right here, I can still live? All right, forget it. I'm going to go ahead and do what I do. People are so numb to their morality that you got people that I've seen that's been on their dying deathbed saying that COVID is not real. Nurses has been crying on Zoom saying that this is what they're dealing with. People that are so naive to think that something can't kill you when it affects your respiratory system. And because it's like this virus has got this country divided, just like Trump got this country divided. The same thing happened.
So there
Country's
was
been
this.
about it.
So I saw this quote somewhere. A guy was asking Caesar, the guy from Rome, how do you get away with doing all this stuff to the people and they don't rebel? And his answer was, as long as you give them bread and entertainment, you could do what the hell you want to them. America is the capital of that. Feed them, entertain them, and you could do whatever. Look at the people who follow Donald Trump. Some of the things that they're holding fast to is common sense. That's true. But for some reason, for example, you know what else bugging me about this country? Why is universal healthcare a taboo? Why? I always ask that question. Why is it such a subject that everybody runs away from? How is that a bad thing? Why is that a bad thing?
It's a capitalist country. It's
capitalist country. They think money before anything else. Just like we the only
money,
country that
money
pays
over
for
life.
Education. Every country in the world, education is put at the forefront, and you really don't have the course that you have in the United States.
But people don't even realize that that Canada is a social democratic country, and England is. And when you say stuff like that in America, people look at you like, what the hell is wrong with you? I think it's a doctrination, because people would say America is the greatest country in the world. And you would think like, really? It is?
I mean,
it's all right, but
I think America is the greatest. I think a lot of people that say that are a lot of people that's not from here. I don't think so many people from America is going to say America is the greatest country.
The people that I know think everybody's country is garbage.
Well, do they look like us? Because I could tell you like this.
No, they don't. No, they don't. They actually they don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got what you're saying. I got you.
Because I'll put it like this right here. Germany has the oldest universal healthcare program, period.
Yep.
Germany has the oldest. Germany has done more, and I think Germany leads the world in Nobel Peace Prize winners too. Leads the world, I think it's either Germany or Sweden. It's because as of all the atrocities that Germany as a country did, the turnaround they did to improve on humanity, even though nobody's perfect, but the initiative they took consciously to turn their country around to get that stigma off.
Yeah.
America holds tight to the stigmas that are so fucked up.
Yes.
And people
they do not learn from history. They do not pay attention to history. They don't. They just do stuff and then they justify it. Look at the stuff our president does, man. Look at the things he does. And you would look at it and like, wow, how does he get away with that? But you know what I found funny? Somebody said this. Donald Trump is everything they expected Barack Obama to be.
Donald Trump is America.
He got, 20 baby mama? He hires his friends and family to work at the White. He parties in the White House.
Donald Trump is
he's
America.
Everything they expect. The 44th guy? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes.
He's America, and this is a part of the reason why adulthood.
Sean, your answer is perfect, my
Exactly.
friend. Your answer is spot on. I say to people, I figured it out already. Donald Trump is just telling people what America is right now at the moment.
Yes.
That's all it is.
Yes, he actually did. He did a great job doing it too.
Oh, for sure.
He removed the blindfold.
Blindfold. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think you guys are discussing America in a sense of needs versus wants, right? So as human beings in society, we have to balance needs and wants. It is taboo to be in a country where you need healthcare because you literally can't do anything else without your health. You can't go to the job you want, make the kind of money you want, do all these things that you want without health, yet it is a thing that you're pretty much denied of, right?
Here's the issue. the madness is normalized.
Yeah.
So if you speak against it, you look like you're stupid.
Yep.
That's it.
Well,
I
crazy.
think great
Because
is
they say whoever control the media control the people, and that's exactly what's going on.
my gosh.
Look at us. We have more information than we ever did in history of the world, and we're dumb as fuck.
When it comes to common sense.
I wouldn't say dumb. I would say we are misinformed.
We're misinformed. Yeah.
We don't know what the
because
truth is.
All right. I look at Fox 5 and I look at the people because I've gone into their house and you hear their conversation, and I happen to be a good listener, and I can listen to you for 20 or 30 minutes without saying a word, because what? I'm trying to understand where you're coming from. And what I find with most of these people, they are, at the end of the day, they're just like me and you. They're just people who want to provide for their family,
Yes,
want to enjoy the day.
That's true.
They love to see a game on Sunday, and they love their country. They're just normal people. But somewhere, a set of people came on and said, here are these information are true. And after a while, these people's compass, moral compass, we're supposed to say, but that sounds too fantastical. And then what amazes me is how people just get swept. And like you said a while ago, sometimes even just asking questions, people look at you like, you didn't know that? And you say, no, not what I'm saying. I'm saying, how do you know it's true? And they do the dance like the president, you know, as they said, he'll just talk around stuff. He's just like, me, I know this like nothing else. The ocean is big ocean. It's like, but that's not what I ask you. Exactly. So most people have a ton of information at their fingertip. They just don't know how to unravel it to make sense. And it becomes this big swimming pool. And some people become cynical because they don't know where is up and where is down anymore.
And Mike, here's another issue too. There's people who just don't want to know. They're happy with what they have. They're happy with what they have.
They have that right. They have that right. They don't want to know. You know,
they don't want to know.
A 2-year-old will close their eyes and hope the boogeyman goes away. That's a 2-year-old's mentality. If I close my eye and I'm not seeing the boogeyman, he goes away. Okay? Most people, a lot of people think as long as I don't know about it, it's okay.
I'm one of those people. I don't watch the news. I don't want to know nothing. It's not there. I don't know. It's not happening.
And the thing is, back to the fear factor. If you look at the history of America, there's always a boogeyman. There always was a boogeyman. There's always somebody coming to take your freedom.
If you understand the underpinnings of America, we have to have a boogeyman.
Yes.
And for people who can read history properly, there is always one.
Yes.
You know, it was the Japanese, then it was communists, then it was this. Most people
Al-Qaeda, ISIS.
Most people don't even know that what we call Al-Qaeda was something we created in the 1980s.
Mm-hmm.
And then they become the boogeyman. You're right. We need a boogeyman.
And today, COVID is the boogeyman.
I rest my will it be next year?
I rest my case. I want to, COVID. There's a survey done, and I did not know this, but when we were born in the learning process to adulthood, they did a survey. I forgot the population, but I know, say like 10. 10 children were studied to have genius level intellect. But by the time they reach adulthood, which is 21, only one remained to have that. And the reason why is because of the social dynamics of the box that they was forced to be put in, either by their own culture, society, or mixture of both.
And also the educational system. It dumbs down a lot of people also. It does. Yeah. Because sometimes you look at your child, they're so brilliant. And by the time they go through kindergarten, you're wondering what the hell is going on.
Yeah, because that's why you think so many children can learn multiple languages before they're 5.
Here you go.
Picasso,
but when
the great Renaissance artist Picasso once said, "Children are natural born geniuses."
Mm-hmm.
trick is not to educate them out of their geniuses. Well, that's exactly what the education system, when they came up with the No Child Left Behind, what do you think they were talking about?
No dummies left. Hey, boy.
You see, if you ask people,
Create
why
good
does a
workers.
child learn? It's actually it's very simple. Why is it does a child learn? You need one ingredient for a child to learn: interest.
Mm-hmm.
Children have a ton of curiosity, which leads to interest. And when they're interested in something, they will figure it out. I mean, I've been following this whole education thing for a while with various people, and I have so much anecdotal story that can point that they realize now that what children need is not necessarily a teacher saying A, B, C. What children need is more of a guide because their natural curiosity will make them figure things out. That's how children learn.
But
But
it's
as
the
you
same thing in
said
adulthood.
earlier, Roderick, when you put them in a box,
Yeah.
all that genius and that spark
Suppress.
just goes out the window.
Suppress.
And by the time they reach junior high, this is them.
But it's
Wow.
the same thing for adulthood
Yeah.
in the sense that as an adult, if you want to know something, you have to seek it.
It's
Because we
not,
were taught fear, so we're limited because of fear.
well, it's not an accident because remember, the people who govern our society, they're cognizant of what they want to turn out at the other end. This is not
Yes.
just some accident machine. The machine is tweaked every now and then. They know exactly what they want. Because in America, if you were to make education available to every child from every race, creed, and color, here's the question: who'd wash your dishes in the restaurant? Who would
Trump's son.
pick the fruits off the tree down in Florida? Who would do that?
Yeah.
Your child that is a psychologist trained, your child who's now a neurosurgeon, if you trained everybody to PhD level, the society that we now live in would simply crumble and fall apart. The people who created the society knows that. So you need the pyramid. You need the ignorant masses at the bottom, and you need the few learned people at the top, and everybody else in between. It's always been that way, guys. It's not a mystery to me.
But you know what's interesting? I saw this on a program once. This guy was talking when Trump was raising hell about the immigrants, and this guy was explaining that the illegal immigrants put more money in America's pocket than they take. Because a lot of these people, they work jobs under others' social security, which they're never going to collect. Who gets that?
Well, what you need with that, Devon, is some facts, and I can tell you where to look for that. The IRS have something called an earning suspense account. For the 1980s, it was $13 trillion. What that means is people who made up social security number, worked in somebody's name, or in a false social security number, knowing that they cannot claim that money. So the IRS is sitting on this surplus in what they call a suspense account. That is from people who are, quote, illegal, who find a way to work knowing they can't claim back any of that money. That money exists as a fact. And the IRS is sitting on that money, not sure what to do with it, but it's there. And I promise you, in the year 2020, that number has jumped significantly.
2020 vision. That's what 2020 has been. 2020 vision.
But I think there's a shift though. I think something is positive. The outcome is gonna be positive though. That's what I think, because everybody's just in a frenzy right now. I think when I say after the storm, I think that's
the calm after the storm.
Yeah, we haven't been through the storm yet.
I want to know what you guys wish for yourselves. I know everybody has been kind of looking forward to 2021 in a hopeful savior kind of way, as if things are just going to snap our fingers and we're going to turn around and things are going to be normal again. So what is it that you wish for yourself in the future?
Well, I'll be making a move in a couple of weeks to Georgia. That's gonna be my restart. Um, I'm gonna have my mostly positivity, no negative aspects of anything. I'm finally in a place where I'm able to embrace everything that's ready to come and be a survivor out here and be a man like the man I'm supposed to be. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm gonna be the man I'm supposed to be.
I wish to start my family. I'm ready.
Oh,
I'm part of the family. What you mean
Okay,
start?
the little baby family. The little baby family.
Oh.
she mean that R&B playlist type family.
Oh.
Type.
All right, that's our family.
I wish, I actually haven't thought about it. To don't question purpose, to live in present, to be grateful for life, for people, and to appreciate everything that I have, because at any moment it can be taken.
All I want is to be happy, man. That's it. Whatever makes it so, I'll work with that.
To leave a positive legacy.
Mm.
That's the only thing I really care about nowadays. To leave a positive legacy so the memory can live on, even though I'm not here.
I'm gonna get married to a crazy ass woman.
I
And
know that.
we're gonna be like little kids, and we're gonna be traveling to different places, learning different languages, different culture, and stuff like that. And we're gonna act like we're 15 years old. Let me just add that bit of caveat to that. For a long time, I was cynical about marriage, very cynical, and that's for a lot of stuff that happened, and it made me saw things a different way. But I realized I was looking at it the wrong way, and most of those ideas I have in myself, I've slowly dissipated away. And yes, I'm Superman. I know that for a fact. I am Superman, but I want to hang up the cape for maybe for a while, for a long time, and I'm gonna do ordinary stuff like what mortals do. I have seen married couple that couple of years down the line they look like brothers and sisters. I am deathly afraid of that. I have brothers and sisters. If I want to be around them, I would live with them forever. No, I want a wife because I'm freaking crazy and all the other stuff that I can't say on this program. But mostly, I want somebody who is going to match my craziness so we can just get up and do crazy stuff like, honey, let's go to Barbados this weekend. No plans, no nothing. We just get up and we bounce.
Well, for myself, what do I wish? I wish for peace of mind, productivity, um, the ability to impact other people's lives through sharing my own experiences, um, family for sure, strong support system, um, for me to be able to slow down and take life a minute at a time, to learn to stop and look up and smell the roses. Man, I realize that I barely look up. Like, I don't go outside and look up. We look forward, we look out, we don't look up. Well, for myself, what do I wish? I wish for peace of mind, productivity, um, the ability to impact other people's lives through sharing my own experiences, um, family for sure, strong support system, um, for me to be able to slow down and take life a minute at a time, to learn to stop and look up and smell the roses. Man, I realize that I barely look up. Like, I don't go outside and look up. We look forward, we look out, we don't look up. Yeah, creating time for what is important, because it's not that we didn't have time before, we just didn't prioritize it. And it took a situation like this for us to
Facts.
forcefully realize it. So definitely prioritizing time with the people you care about, because tomorrow is promised to no one, and you never really know how you really impact others until they're no longer here, and how you feel about others until they're no longer here. So definitely trying to be more proactive than reactive is definitely something I wish for myself. But I appreciate all of you guys for coming on and sharing your experiences. I wish for you what you want for yourselves, true happiness, knowing who you are, and going forth and being the ripple and wave in the ocean and impacting others. You never really know how great you are and how much you've really affected other people. So you are loved and you are appreciated, definitely by me. I love and appreciate all of you that are on here. I know it was difficult for you guys to share some of your experiences, but I appreciate you guys. And some of you I don't speak to every day, but know that you are not forgotten. Um, Life just gets in the way sometimes, and it is my goal to now
True.
make that priority to be there for you when it counts for sure. So I love you guys. I appreciate you, and I thank you so much for coming on. We got to do this again soon.